I'm willing to bet that you are using stories wrong. Now, the world has become obsessed with storytelling. They treat it like a magic one-size-fits-all solution to growing an audience or winning business. Now, what if I told you that storytelling had almost nothing to do with the story itself? The real secret to making your ideas land, to be understood and remembered, isn't storytelling, it's distance management. If you want your audience to hear you, you need to control the gap between what you know and what they believe. This video reveals the only question that matters. When do you use a story and why? Okay, so stories exist for one purpose, and that is to manage distance. In martial arts, distance management is everything. I've done jiu-jitsu and other martial arts for years, and as a shorter fighter, I have to close the distance aggressively to take away my opponent's reach. But if I were tall, I'd want the opposite, to keep distance and use my reach to my advantage. Now, storytelling, it works exactly the same way. Sometimes you need to close the distance, sometimes you need to open it. Let me show you what I mean. I want you to imagine that you need to explain a relatively complex concept to a group that may not typically understand it. Now, the concept could appear abstract or even intimidating to them. For example, let's say I wanted to explain Gödel's Incompleteness theorem to you. Because, why wouldn't I? Technically, it says that in a consistent system of logic, there will always be truths that can't be proven from inside the system itself.
You'll ask me, what?
Clear as mud, right? But what if I give you this metaphor instead? I want you to imagine a football match, just one with no referee. Whoosh. I brought you closer. You understand football. You understand the chaos of no referee. Whoosh. Now, the players can follow the rules as best they can, but the moment there's a dispute, was it a foul? Was the ball out? They can't resolve it from inside the game. The referee exists as a system outside the system itself, right? So you need somebody from outside that system to make the call. And that's Gödel's point. Every system needs somebody beyond itself to settle certain truths. Now, to make this even easier to grasp and to bring you even closer, here's a variation on Howard Mann's great line. It's impossible to read the label from inside the bottle. And that's exactly why sometimes your system is incomplete without outside input, which is where professionals like us come in, and we run a 3-hour storytelling masterclass for up to 10 of your people. It's practical, it's hands-on, and it gives your team the exact tools to craft stories that open or close distances depending on the challenge in front of you. So if you're a leader or part of a leadership team, this is one of the best investments that you can make, I promise you. Scan the QR code here and we're gonna get you sorted. But let's zoom back to the bigger point. Because Gödel's theorem doesn't just show us how to close the distance, it also explains why sometimes people are too close to a problem. They're trapped inside the system. They can't read the label from inside the bottle. That's when we need stories to open the distance. Imagine for a second that you're presenting a disruptive new strategy to a room full of skeptical bankers. You know if you attack their industry head on, their defenses will go up. They'll stop listening. That's failure. So instead, you take them out of the bottle. You pivot and you tell them a story about the airline industry, say Southwest Airlines. You walk them through how Southwest simplified a complex bureaucratic industry. You show them how they won by rejecting decades of conventional wisdom. You share frameworks of thought. Now they're nodding and agreeing, feeling safe. And that's when you close the loop. Why would this be any different in banking? Whoosh, you brought them back close again. And that, my friends, is the power of managing distance. Sometimes you bring people closer, but sometimes you take them further away to create perspective. Either way, you're in control.
You get it now, honey?
I think I do.
So here's your takeaway. The next time you've got a group of people in front of you that you need to persuade, start with where they're at. Ask yourself 2 questions. 1, where are they standing right now? 2, is it more valuable to move them further away or to bring them closer to you? Answer those 2 questions and you'll know exactly which story to tell. Now we just have to get you telling it. So why not watch this video on hooking them from the very beginning next?